Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your host, Jack Tipperley, and welcome to The Thinking Cap. Very excited for today's episode. It's been a while. I'm sorry it's been a week or two since our last episode. We've had a lot going on. And so today we're going to actually talk about some of the things that I've been working on. Very exciting stuff. So, first of all, hopefully you've noticed you should be watching this live. We are now live on premiering on YouTube, and it's very exciting because this way you get to at least watch this live. I can interact with you in the comments section. You can send chats. I'm not quite sure about the super chats quite yet, since we have not yet hit 1,000 subscribers. We actually can't go live, and so because of that, I'm not sure about the super chats availability as well. But if you want to see us live, then please go subscribe to YouTube, and also make sure to check us out on Rumble. We are live on our podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. To my knowledge, YouTube Music has not yet rolled out as far as podcasting goes. So be on the lookout for that. Unless you've heard otherwise, please let me know. I'd love to find out when exactly it's going to be rolling out. But this is also exciting because from here on out, I'm going to be premiering these live, so that you do get a sense of a live show. Because that's how I intend the show to run. And so I'm calling it Thinking Cap Thursdays. So make sure to be on the lookout. Generally speaking, Thursdays from here on out, that's going to be my goal. Thinking Cap Thursdays. We're going to premiere on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. If you're listening to us audio, make sure to also go check us out on YouTube. Much appreciated. So, also make sure you go on jacktimperley.com. It's my website / The Thinking Cap or / shop. And you can get yourself these thinking caps. It's not about thinking necessarily in the show as much as it is. It's really about thinking day to day, thinking things through critically, thinking about what's going on in the world and why. How should we be living our lives? Very deep questions some of the time. But that's what we do here at the Thinking Cap. We think things through. So make sure you go get your thinking caps, and mugs are also now available on my website. Very exciting. So you can drink your thinking caps while you're thinking, something like that. It's not a great analogy, but it's very exciting. And so when you're sipping your coffee, you can be thinking about your morning coffee thoughts. There we go. Excellent. See if we got this. Also, if you want to follow me personally at Jack Timperley Plus, you can do so YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as following the Thinking Cap podcast on those platforms as well. Again, that's at the Thinking Cap podcast. Make sure you go follow YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Trying to build a community there so that if I have announcements or things going on, maybe if we need to cancel a show for the week, all the new information is going to be there. But I will continue to upload everything as it becomes available on your favorite podcasting platform. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Today I'm thinking about e-commerce. So get on your thinking caps. E-commerce. What is e-commerce? It's a very broad term. And the easiest way I can describe it is it's sales channels online. It's marketing and sourcing products and services all online. You don't have to store any products. You don't have to store any inventory. There's minimal, if not very little, relatively speaking, upfront costs, as well as profit margins are largely up to you. And I say largely because, of course, it's the market that will end up determining the price. You don't want to outprice your consumers, of course, but you can ultimately decide the profit margin as long as people are willing to pay that price. And what's beautiful about e-commerce is you can do it from anywhere in the world and market to anywhere in the world. Now, that's why a lot of countries outside of the US, and particularly outside of the West, are able to profit greatly from e-commerce, especially for despite them being in their countries, because the Western dollar, specifically the US dollar, is a lot more valuable than most other, we'll say, currencies in the world. And so when USD is converted into foreign currencies, it ends up making them rich. So that's why e-commerce seems to be a a very lucrative way to generate income in this day and age with moderately to little levels of work. We're going to talk about that in a second too. Now, this is different from affiliate marketing. I want to differentiate that. Affiliate marketing is marketing products and services that other people use, that other people sell, and you keep the commissions in the middle. So it's a little different. The similarities are that it's all online, and you're not necessarily, depending on your e-commerce method, you're not necessarily marketing other people's products. Sometimes you're marketing your own products that you create and you are able to distribute across multiple online sales channels, including social media networks. You see all those Facebook ads, you see Amazon, you see Etsy, you see eBay, all these e-commerce sales channels. That's how they're able to market and distribute all of these various products and services, for that matter. But today we're going to look at mostly from the product standpoint. So I'm thinking about this because I myself have started myself in e-commerce in a couple of different ways. And I'm thinking about it because there are millionaires being made from e-commerce business. And at any age, there are 15-year-olds making $100,000 a month or more just doing e-commerce. There are 55-plus-year-olds making $100,000 or more per month. It's just crazy, astronomical how much wealth, first of all, is out there, and second of all, how easily, I put quotes on that, how easily it can be made. And I question that because do they deserve it? Now that's arguable because it also depends on their background. It depends on who they are. They say that money amplifies the person. And so if you, say, didn't go to college or you don't have very much work experience, you just don't have very much life experience. Like, let's say you're a 15-year-old. There's nothing wrong necessarily for a 15-year-old to get into e-commerce and making that kind of money in itself. But again, money amplifies. That kid, that teenager, what are they going to do with that money? What use is it to them? Sure, they can invest in real estate if they're smart. They can get into cryptocurrency. They can start their own business. Money is freedom. Freedom to largely do what you want on a day-to-day basis for the most part. That's really what financial freedom is allowing you to do. It's allowing you to take control of your time and your energy on a day-to-day basis. And so it's very interesting because these, say, 15-year-olds who don't have the life experience, they might not necessarily know A, what to do with that money in a logical, responsible manner, but B, they they might not have the education to put it to good use, or they might just spend it frivolously. It's very different from someone, say, 55 plus. So let's go through this chronologically. So that's if a 15-year-old millionaire was made. Someone like me who's at 24, let's say it's 25, a 25-year-old making this kind of money in e-commerce, overall, through all these ages, it can be seen as a good thing and a bad thing. There's positives and negatives. Positives for a 25-year-old doing so, especially someone like me. I'm college educated. I've got 2 bachelor's degrees. Got a little bit of work experience, not very much, relatively speaking, but it would allow me to jumpstart my own social career. It would allow me to start a family in the next decade or so. It would open up opportunities for me in my lifetime now that will ultimately benefit me in the long run. Now, if you're a 35-year-old, let's say you've got some work experience behind you, you may have educational experience, you've got life experience, and so maybe you have a family, you're trying to take care of your family. That's a great thing. You've got e-commerce as a way to generate income for yourself and to take care of your family, and you're able to start a business if you wanted to on the side. You're able to have that financial freedom. You could retire, friends with family. Sky is the limit. Whatever you need taken care of, that's a good time in your life to be making that kind of money relatively passively. It's not completely passively because you still have to put in the work. Like, unless you're hiring an ad agency, you're probably going to be running social media ads. You're also going to be managing your product lineup, making sure that your supply chain is in order and taking care of any issues that may come up. So it's semi-passive income, I'm going to call it. And then let's think about a 55 plus year old in e-commerce. They might start thinking about retirement and at that age. And so to them, e-commerce could be a retirement plan. And what a great plan that is. And plus, they've got much more life experience at that point to say to know rather how the world works and how to market effectively, maybe without an ad agency even. They probably have more connections. They might, I'll say, have more connections in corporate and other areas of their life from years past that can help them to elevate their digital presence. And hopefully that they have family to be able to help them with any technical aspects they might need assistance with. And so e-commerce is can be very beneficial at any age. But the other thing I'm thinking about with this is, do they deserve it? Do they earn it? Because I'm all about, you have to earn what you want in this life. You have to earn the money. And so if I'm drop shipping, we'll talk about that in a sec. If I'm drop shipping or if I'm printing on demand, which is what I'm doing, is that really the right way to make money? But I think that also goes back to, what kind of person are you? Money amplifies. And so if you are a good hearted family man, let's say, and you get money, that's going to amplify your ability to do so. But if you are a, let's say, extreme scenario, or maybe even marginal scenario, a rich, spoiled kid gets $1 million in e-commerce in a year. What do you think that rich, spoiled kid is going to do? That person, that personality, what they care about, who they are, matters more than how they get the money. How you earn your money. Gary Vee has even said this before. How you earn your money matters more, the same, if not more, than how you earn the money, if that makes any sense. I don't think that made any sense. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's how you make the money matters than the money actually being made. There we go. And I really take that to heart in what I'm doing, because in the drop shipping sites that I have created and will create, there I'm making sure that the products that I am advertising are products that I would want to buy myself. For me in particular, I'm in the tech niche in my dropshipping business, and I'm a very avid technology enthusiast. We've talked about the ethics of technology a couple times on this podcast, and I still take that to heart. I'm integrating that mindset into what I'm advertising. I'm not marketing, unlike most people out there who make millions of dollars in e-commerce. I'm not blindly finding and accepting and marketing products that I don't 100% believe in. And because you have to stand for something. When you, no matter what you're doing, how you make your money is more important than the money actually made. And so I want to know that I am doing so, that I am making money in an ethical way, in a way that I could argue for, that I could see the value in, and to know that I am providing value to those who are buying my products. And I've made that effort a priority in all that I'm doing, really, but especially in this drop shipping business, because some of these products are being shipped overseas from other countries to other countries. Some products are made in the US and shipped elsewhere. Some are the opposite, most of the opposites. Um, and I go back and forth on that, honestly. I want products to be shipped and sold in the US. However, that's not necessarily going to give people the value that they deserve, or the value that they earn, the value that they're looking for. Because there could be a, a decent product, let's say that comes out of China, for example, that if it was made in the U.S., it would outprice our market, and our and people buying it from the U.S. would not be able to afford, not be willing to spend that kind of money on the product if it were made in the U.S. And so that's why I go back and forth, and so I'm content with the drop shipping model and its socio-ethical implications, because no matter what, it's going to benefit our country. It's going to benefit me personally, and it's ultimately a good thing if it is done for the right reasons. Print on demand is another form of e-commerce, and that basically means you create a design, you put it on anything you want. Say a Margaret hat. I'll be honest, that's how these hats were made, and you distribute, you market that product, and it's shipped automatically, and you keep the cloth in the middle. And I'm very open about all of this because I want to establish myself as an ethical businessman, as an ethical person, and for my followers and for my consumers to know and see that I am at least trying to do the right things for the right reasons. And because there's a lot of people out there in e-commerce in particular, because I've seen it. I've seen it in affiliate marketing. Even they'll market products blindly that they have no idea what it's about. They have no idea what the implications are for it socially. They don't care about you. They don't care about the customer. They don't care about the client, and that is deeply troublesome to me. That's why I ultimately decided not to go down. I do affiliate marketing on specific products and services that I know and I trust and I use personally and I endorse. However, I now am refusing to market affiliate products and services that just they're not great quality. They don't care about the end consumer. They're just looking to make a buck. And frankly, people are buying it. You're buying it, and part of that's on you. But I'm not going to take part of that transaction. I would rather deliver products and services to people that I truly believe in, that I can stand behind. That's what I'm all about. Now, there was a famous philosopher that treated, that came out with this categorical imperative of a way to justify things morally. And one of the imperatives was to treat people as a to never treat people as a means to an end, only in only as ends in themselves. And what that means is basically don't use people if it's not going to benefit them. Don't use them as a means to an end. And I think part of that can apply to situations like this, where I don't want to get into e-commerce if it's not done right, if it's not done the right way. At least the way that I see is the right way. We can argue about morality anytime. I'd love to have those conversations with you. But the idea is to I I don't want to use e-commerce as just a way to make money, and I don't want to use consumers as that way, because we need to remember the people behind the computers, behind the phones, behind these devices that are marketing these products and services to you, and you buy them. But is that product and service the best thing for you? How do you benefit from that? And part of that is you determining from an advertisement, will this product or service benefit me? And so that decision is made on your end. But I would argue that because there are a lot of marketers out there that don't care about you, about your preferences, and what's ultimately best for you, I would argue that as consumers, we need to be hyper vigilant in how we determine what to buy, what to say yes to. And part of that comes with budgeting as well. That's a whole nother topic. But it's very important for you as a consumer, for us as consumers, to be very aware of what kind of products and services are being marketed to us, why, and what are the implications for you, and what are the implications for society as a whole. And so that's why I am personally at peace with my e-commerce business that I am creating, because I'm making sure that the products that I market are products that will benefit you in some way. And as far as the print on demand business model goes, for example, these hats, they're very cool hats, very high quality, I will say. And that's not just me as a marketer trying to hype it up. No, these are really high quality thinking caps, highly recommended. And so the creative use, the creative artwork behind it is really what I'm selling. And I'm able to be kind of the middleman between it. It's a great model. It benefits me, and it benefits you as the consumer. It's a amazing world. The world of e-commerce is, and it's growing exponentially. It has been growing. It's been around for the last at least 20, 30 years, and it's been growing in the last decade, especially, and it will continue to grow exponentially. So, as we close out for the day, just want to make sure you think about what ads you're seeing on social media. What ads are you seeing on Google? What's being marketed to you? Even if it's watching TV or a streaming platform, what's being marketed to you and why? Be hyper aware. Be aware and thinking about this. And know that I will do everything in my power as a business owner to deliver the products and services that matter to you and that will ultimately benefit you. That's what it should be all about. And so once again, you can go to jacktemporary.com/shop. That's part of my e-commerce. And so you can get my thinking caps get you thinking cap mugs, as well as a bunch of other shirts I've designed. Some very funny, I would add. And new products, new designs are going to be updated over the next several weeks at least. Very, very exciting. If you want to become a guest on the Thinking Cap, there's something you're thinking about, you want to talk about, have a little discussion, have a little back and forth debate, I would love to do so with you. You go on our Facebook page. First of all, follow that Facebook page at the Thinking Cap Podcast. If you go on there, I've marked the guest interest as a service. And so you can book that service as a guest to be a guest on the podcast through Facebook and choose a day or time. I usually film on Wednesdays, and I will be posting them from here on out on Thursdays, or premiering them on Thursdays. If you go over to my Jack Temperley Plus channel on YouTube in particular, that's where I post clips of the Thinking Cap, and those should be dropping. I want to try to do them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 of them in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think that would be good. Would that be good for you? You want to see those clips Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I've been catching up over the last week or two on some clips. I need to catch up on shorts as well. Very exciting stuff. If you also want to connect with me personally, one-on-one, I am on Minnect. That's Minnect. You can send me a text message asking a question. If you need any kind of advice in life, personally, doing a little bit of life coaching to get us started. The rates are pretty low for now, just to get us started. So if there's ever a time to get advice on something you're thinking about or something that's happening in your life, I would love to chat with you. You can also do a video call with me. We'll set it up and we'll chat. That would be fantastic to meet with you all and talk with you. Again, that's Minnect, Minnect. You can download the app or go on your desktop. Also, finally, make sure you leave a review on your favorite podcasting platform, because those reviews are what is going to tell the podcasting algorithms to go ahead and push this podcast out to more people so we can get more people thinking about things critically. Also, make sure to like this video. Liking is the equivalent of leaving a review on podcasting platforms. Liking the YouTube video and Rumble will tell those algorithms to push this out to more people. That's going to do it for today. Stay sharp, stay thinking, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.